There we go, Ramon. We figured it out. Technology.
How are you?
Very good, very good. I knew you were going to get it because your nephew showed you how to do it, right?
She did, she did.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
15 years old and she did. But I have been rushing from a meeting to another meeting.
Okay.
See, I'm just coming with my sweater. So
Okay. So you're in the office today.
I'm in the office today, yes.
Oh, okay. So good, good. Well, we have a couple people on, and I'm sure more will join now that we're live, and we do record this too, so we send it out afterwards because I was in touch with Heather and she said there was no way she was going to get up at 6 a.m. So your US team. But yeah, thank you. Thanks, Ramon. It's great to catch up. Haven't seen you since Blue Zone in Munich when we met in February, which seems like a totally different world. So wanted to hear how are things going for you, what's happening now in Spain, and tell us what Textile Santanderina has been up to.
Okay, since we met in February, we were in the lockdown at the end of March when the whole thing was exploding in our nose like in the rest of the world. So what we have been doing for the last week of March and the first week of April, we have been shipping quite a lot of fabric of Santanderina in urgent basis all over Spain, totally free of charge.
Wow.
Helping the sanitary system. We delivered more than 70,000 meters free of charge to major people, to the central government of Madrid, to wholesalers, to people working with volunteers, making masks and making sanitary clothes, where still nobody knew what was going to be the norms, the legality of the mask, anything. So everybody was blind.
Right.
Two people of my team and myself, we have been just attending the phone and saying, guys, you have textile fabrics, what can you do for us? So
right.
We have been using Tencel, as you know, to make sanitary clothes with transpirability and all these kind of things. But again, free of charge, getting messages all over the place saying like, thank you. This is your clothes. This is the result. This came to a hospital. This came to a old people pension house to help in the protection. So we have been very proud of this for the first 2 weeks.
Amazing. And so is this all fabric you already had produced?
We have been using the fabric which was produced on the floor to deliver for pronto moda basis for summer.
Right.
Using it in PFD, making special finishings and sending it all over. 100% Tencel, cotton Tencel, but basically 100% Tencel, super lightweights.
Great.
It's an antimicrobial finish.
Okay. And did you already have that finish, prepared in advance? Did you already have that as something you had developed previously?
Well, from the technical fabrics division, from Tex, we developed a line called Sanitized, as we say in Spanish, sanitized, which was a special treatment for the protective workwear people in hospitals and so on, because we're already working for hospitals in Europe and in the world, the Tex division.
Right.
We had some finishings that people from different customers in the world demanded before the COVID for odor-free, for special transpirability, for thermo properties, for special performance properties. So we took that part of the knowledge to apply it on the Tencel to give it free of charge. At the same time, we were measuring, this was in the third week, the properties of the different finishings we were studying and shipping.
Right, right. That's amazing. Yeah, I think you were really one of the first mills that I noticed that had moved into supporting on PPE. You were very quick to respond. So congratulations on that.
2 days.
In 2 days. Amazing. Amazing.
Since the lockdown, 2 days. I have got phone calls from Inditex, from different retailers saying, what can we do? How we can make triangles of collaboration? And this was the third week, where not anymore free of charge. We were developing business from the government, Ministry of Industry, getting our fabric certified to be under the European norm, to be the valid fabric together with another two for masks.
Right. Amazing. So how many masks do you think have been produced overall then with your fabrics? Any idea?
Yes, more than 3 million.
3 million. Wow. That's incredible. Great
3
job.
million because we did by one of our sister companies, Hidrasal, we are doing actually a program. It's 2 layers mask in 100% tensile fabric with our AMS special finish under the norm UNE0065. We are doing a program of 1.5 million masks for Carrefour,
Oh, okay. Yes, I know that store. Yes.
Yeah, and
Great.
besides this, we did volunteer masks here around the place. Yeah, around 3 million masks.
Wow. Incredible. And so now what is your production at? Are you running at, half capacity, or where would you say you're estimating that you're at?
I hate this question.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry, but everybody's trying to figure out who's moving in the supply chain. And where I'm sitting in New York with stores still closed, I want to have some hope that the supply chain is pumping through again.
Well, I mean, you know me, Trish, since many
Long
years.
time.
I hate the question because we always want to have more. We always want to make something more, something new, something with added value, something exciting. And now the whole thing is going opposite. It's like, are you half capacity? Are you 40% below? Are you 80% behind? So our lack has been that due to our sanitary fabrics, we were never stopped. So we have been making a partial layoff, temporary layoff of a couple of months with part of the production.
Right.
Today, we are 30% below compared to last year.
Wow, that's great. I mean, considering the conditions, that's a wonderful situation to be in.
Something like this is what's going to happen. But up to date, I can say this. It's very hard because you don't get any visibility, because people are saying like summer is finished, winter we don't know. What do you have in stock? A lot of demands. I don't know what to do with the product. I have had the design team totally off only for 3 weeks. And then I said, now you get back. Let's try to risk something, to do something again under the new conditions. It's not anymore February in the Munich fabric start. Now we are after the COVID. We have a new life, a new shop, a new retail way of making business. A lot of people are shutting down. So we have to readapt. You do it or you die. So we're in the process now.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I mean, everybody's had to rethink where they're at and kind of reinvent themselves, and you've certainly done that. I mean, I think as a company, from the many years that we've worked together, you've always been searching for what's new and really leading the market. And, I work in some of the other segment areas too, besides denim. And I mean, denim is so unique because it is this push that comes from the supply chain that you just don't see in other product categories. And so I think, for you, this is really a time to put all of your expertise together in order to rebuild better. And that's why, I asked that question and want to understand more of where you're coming from. And also, Sanitizing has taken such a stance on sustainability the past couple of seasons. Where do you see, this is another common question that we're trying to grapple with in the industry, but where do you see sustainability falling into your next phase post-pandemic?
The question about sustainability now is more crucial than ever because, I don't know if any of you, probably all of you have done what I did in the last 2 weeks after the lockdown. I have gone to different shops. I wanted to experience by myself the new retail, the new sustainable concept, the new clothes stores way of showing.
Yeah.
Everything has changed. So now sustainability, it can be connected to the mask, to reusable mask, to one-use mask, to the men's fashion, to the home fashion to be, I mean, I'm wearing denim. I was not wearing denim since the last 5 years. Super stretch denim. I work from home. I come to the office. I get part of my team here. So How sustainability is going to change? It will depend on how we are all changing in the fashion business.
Right.
It's going to be the same volume? No, that we all know. Consumption is getting down. So only by this is going to be more sustainable. And for sure, the end consumer, more than ever, will look at things without any risk for anybody, for himself, for his family, and for the planet. Because this has made all of us thinking a lot of things. So absolutely it's crucial that the supply chain is transparent. Lenzing, Santanderina, Lenzing, weaving mills, retailers being open, transparent, clean, but real. Because there is no time, sorry, for bullshit anymore. Right. Because people will say like, I just don't want this.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely crucial. The sustainability, yes, will reinforce our lines and products and concepts of sustainability, of course with Lenzing, and in the way that we are transmitting this towards to all the retailers that we are working with and brands. Whoever will keep alive, it will keep alive under these conditions.
Yeah.
My opinion.
And yeah, no, I mean, I see the same thing too. I think it's even stronger. The conversations that I've had with brands in the past 3 months, it's the sustainability initiatives that continue. No one's saying, you know, we're going to stop this program that we had for water reduction, or, you know, we're no longer going to build out a sustainable material strategy. They're all saying the same thing. We realize we're going to have to shift on consumption. We're going to, you know, shift on the number of units that we're buying, but no one's backing off on sustainability. I just wonder how we can sort through it and make it a little simpler. Because, you know, prior to this pandemic, it's what certifications do you have? And, you know, how many fabrics are you making? And of course, price, price, price. So can we simplify this a little bit, maybe not have so many certifications, because every certification takes time for your company, for my company, time of human resources as well as money. And, you know, anything that we're trying to do on environmental savings or any changes that we have to make, that also takes more resources. So I don't know how you feel about that. Is there a focus that you see around sustainability of which certifications or particular initiatives, water, chemical, energy?
In the last 10 days, we have been revising all certifications. Because at the end of the day, when you have such a big book of certifications, where we are only using the 10% of them. So, you know, you can get from the Ecotex in that time until the BCI a few years back, now the organic OCS, GOTS. What is going to be real and authentic? This is the key. It's not anymore paying a royalty for a certificate. What is real? What can you show? Whom you can bring again back to a mill like Lenzing in Austria in front of that great lake and show this is sustainable because of this is the process. Yes, you need a certificate to justify, to certificate, to state it, but you have to show. People, my kids, my nephew, they want to see the reality. They hesitate about everything. They say, okay, daddy, okay, or uncle, show me what is real. When they ask me, what are you really doing in textiles? You cannot say, you know, we have X certificate. They don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
They want to know the reality. So it's going to be a reduction also in the number of certificates, in the number of organisms certifying everything. Water is going to be a key. I mean, I still read yesterday that in Spain in the next 4 years is going to be one of the 6 countries with a water source problem. Look, we are Spain. Yeah. We are not a country lost somewhere in the middle of Africa. We are in a civilization world. So this topic is not forgotten. It's just put in pause, but it's going to come back stronger. But
and that's a short period of time too. I think this pandemic has really raised the awareness of, you know, time is of the essence.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So
So
it's not only Spain, it's the whole supply chain, fabric, garments, Bangladesh, Ethiopia, all those discussions that we were having, like short-term, long-term, retail, price, 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 you said. I think this is going to change again here, the price, 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 and more what is real, what is functional, what is performing in a way, what is sustainable, everything.
yeah. With the price conversation, it always reminds me when I first started with Tencel, so 1998, the fabrics were primarily coming, well, you had your collection, so we had our Spanish innovators, and then we had all the domestic mills in the US, right? And the fabric prices were around $8 to $10 a yard. And then every year it goes lower and lower and lower. And will this time allow us to go back to putting some quality and value into the materials? And so your trade-off is that you're not producing as much fabric, but you're making better product. Can that happen? And can we switch and really push this on the retailers and brands of, putting that quality back in?
I remember the $8 and the $10 a yard in the 1998. We have to remember the multi-fiber agreement, which changed the whole thing, beginning in the 2000s. I don't know if it's going to get back to $8 or $10 a yard or a meter. But
I don't think that high.
As an example. As an example. But for sure, it's not going to be like, what do you have for $2.50? I want to make a garment for $9.95. It has to be sustainable. It has to be ecological. It has to use less water. It has to be produced in X country. I want it for tomorrow. And this is impossible.
Yeah.
This is simply impossible. First question, who is going to be the retailer being able to survive?
Right.
Who's going to be the mill surviving behind this? What's going to be the volume of us people surviving business-wise to keep the planet alive, to keep on doing business for fashion? Because fashion is a must. I read somewhere that fashion is making the people feeling better.
Yeah.
You feel better, but you have to feel better.
I feel better, actually. No, you do feel better because you know it. And also, I think we're all going to have to come out of this comfort of where we were secluding ourselves at home. You and I, for you, I've seen you in some cities in the United States where you spend less than 12 hours there. You're always moving around.
Yes.
And, and there's always more that we need to do. And that's been such a change during this time. So when do you think you're going to be back on the road?
I tell you something as a secret between you and me and everybody listening to this. A couple of weeks back, I was very close to go to the psychologist saying like, I need to get into a plane. I absolutely need to get into a plane. Because I have been 22 years getting an average of 180 or 120 flights per year. So the changement is when I will be around Spain, I will see Inditex Group, I will go to Turkey probably in a couple of weeks if I don't risk to be locked down there. Not to see my nephew for 2 weeks and my kids, but in a couple of weeks, hopefully I will begin to travel again under the new conditions of safety and everything, but hopefully in a couple of weeks, now at the end of June.
Yeah. Well, I think you and I might need to go to the same psychologist because I feel that way too, that I also want to get on an airplane, and my biggest fear is how I'm going to tell my family that I will be leaving and going on a plane. And my fears are the same, is if you get stuck somewhere and then you're in quarantine. Correct. And my other fear is the airplane, how managing the airports. You and I had that down to a science, right? We knew exactly which security lane to go through, what shoes to be wearing, and how big your bag needed to be. But that's all going to change, with the health security now that's at the airports. And then what will an international flight be like? Those are some of my concerns.
Your
But
concern, my concern, and many people concern for
many
sure.
other
Because
people,
this is also,
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
this is
But I'm
this is
hoping
engine
to be
engine for the
over.
business.
Yes. Yeah. I'm hoping to be over in Europe by, in the fall, maybe September, October. So we'll see. We'll see if the countries want New Yorkers to come in or not. They might be saying no one from the US. So we'll see. But,
We have to see
I
what's
think,
going on.
yeah, yeah. This time, you're saying it's changed in the shops. When you were shopping in Spain, what were you seeing? What's the current conditions?
Current conditions are the following. You go into a little shop where normally it was you and two customers more, and the changement is not big because you are there, you get your clothes, you go to the fitting room. It's the normal timing with the normal rhythm of business. The issue, and I was shocked, is when you see the reality of the retail, any retailer coming into the shop, doing a queue, number one, for 30 minutes, 20 minutes to come in, doing a queue of 10, 15 minutes to go into the fitting room, and doing a queue to go and pay. So I was not compulsive, but due to the business deformation, you go to the shops and you buy to check, to see, to enjoy with your team. This time I
Right.
bought 5 times less in 2 hours longer.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
ratio is saying a lot about what's going on. How to make
Right.
the retailers survive. I mean, I believe on online, yes. We are also doing online business with masks, with fabric. But I believe in the cross business, online, offline. So the size of both is going to define how the customer experience is going to be optimal. Because
Right.
you cannot wait for 30 minutes into a fitting room, and you cannot be scared of going to the fitting room either. If you don't see the right conditions, you don't go in. So
Right.
on this question marks, it's going to cost 6 months at least to see a clear line, not before January, in my opinion, because this has taken us all under surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be through the rest of this year. It's the same situation in the US. I mean, the other day I went to Target. I had to wait outside on a line. And then fortunately, I had my daughter with me. So on the line inside, I said, you stand here. I'm going to go get things. And then we did that tag team. But in dressing rooms, many stores here, the dressing rooms are closed. New York just opened yesterday, but very limited store hours. Most of it's pickup. And of course, New York City also is still dealing with a lot of the issues related to the protests that we had last week. So many stores, why should they open? Why should stores open? Why should they staff if they are, if you're really not going to have the number of customers? You're better off. And that's where you say, this omni-channel, strategy that many retailers had set up, if they didn't have a strong digital presence, this is going to hurt them even more.
Of
So,
course.
and yesterday I read a report that was on Retail Dive that 20 to 25 stores in the United States they're expecting will close within the next 9 months. 20,000 stores. I mean, that's incredible. So what's going to happen to all this retail space, to the malls? I mean, we were already overstored, overmalled. I think this will be another issue. Many of the retailers can't pay their rents. This is, a headline that Gap has been facing for the past week or so, that Simon Properties, the mall owner, is suing them because they can't pay their rents. So this, I think, will just be, another challenge that the whole industry is going to have to face. And it might give more of an opportunity for the smaller direct-to-consumer brands who are a bit more nimble to, to thrive during this time.
I mean, we all know brands and retailers who are on the online and on the offline. Those who are authentic, who will move fast, they will find their way. This is natural selection somehow. Those who were under the role of keeping on going, this is a big surprise for everybody. Those are too many shops, and nobody will be able to reconvert himself into the new business model. So size is going to be the key. If I think it was Andriola who said in an article that already to make a basic fabric, there are I don't know how many thousands of mills fighting for this program. I think I read it in a Sportswear International.
Yeah.
In the last one I read, I think so. Today, this is multiplied by 100. Right. How many mills will keep alive to fight for a lower size part of the cake?
Right.
So what's going to be the cake? What is what my nephew, your kids, my kids, me, when I go to the shops, we want? This is the key. What do you want? How do you want to feel? What is the customer experience? And people are looking at me like, what is this guy coming again to the shop? I do it in the morning, I do it in the afternoon, and I do it even when they are going to close, to know how tired the people are. Because you get people like, I want to help you, sir. What can I do for you? And you get people who are like, check online. So the commercial education of people is under exam today, of all of us.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. A lot of changes during this time. But you're very wise to go check out the shops and see. And as you said, you go at different times of the day, different days, whether it's weekends or weekdays, to see what the customer is actually experiencing. So I think, you know, for many of us, it's out of this time where we also are changing, whether it's our, you know, work setup. You know, for us, we're still working remotely in New York for Tencel. What do you think are some of the greatest changes that you see for yourself after this period?
In terms of working, you mean by
how you're working, and I mean, do you think you'll continue with more digital? I mean, you and I both want to get on the airplane, but do you see that customers will want to work more in digital ways?
Yes, for sure. Yes, for sure. It will be a bigger number of video conferences. We are going to use Zoom. We are going to use Teamwork. All this we are going to use it because we cannot travel in the same frequency as before.
Right.
Again, the quality of the work. Sorry, it was a phone call. In fact, the quality of the work is the key here. Are we now doing telematic work, video conference, being at home under a more relaxed conditions? Yes. Is this keeping the positive pressure on to make the things better at the same speed? I have some doubts on this. I'm not working the same, being in this office with my team, enjoying, having positive pressure, than having my 11 years daughter telling me she wants to play with me. So we have also to adapt to this.
Right.
I'm obliged to do it. I would like to go and see in New York the different shops, what I did in Spain. But I don't have teletransportation. If I have tomorrow teletransportation, I can do it. So I have to look in internet even more. I have to become more digital. And I have to come into Instagram by the first time of my life being 46. Yes, we will all be doing this.
Right. So maybe, Ramon, out of all of this, could you have one post on Instagram? Maybe just one.
Just taking this, I'm going to call my nephew and my kids saying, you say something on Instagram now, guys.
I get it, you know, and everyone is slightly different. You're a great people person. You're always, you know, feet on the ground, and that's how you are. So you're not spending your time on Instagram. I get it. But no, it's really great to see you today, Ramon. Wonderful to catch up. I'm glad to hear that everyone's doing well at Textile Santanderina. I really applaud how quickly you were able to pivot into supporting for the masks. I think that's, you know, a wonderful contribution when you look back on this time of how you as a company and the, you know, the strong commitment of the people within Santanderina have taken on the challenge. So congratulations on that. And so I hope we'll see each other in Munich in September. Let's make that our starting point.
We will see in Munich, or we will see digitally speaking again in a few weeks. But we will see for sure. We will talk.
Okay. And when I'm in one of the stores in New York, I'll send you some pictures, okay?
Please, at different times of the day, talking to the different people, see
Different
how
times.
they behave. And always smiling.
Okay.
Keep that smile, Trish, and keep the level of lensing that you have been having for the last 20 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Signing off. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.